one of the things that appeal to government or those who are in charge, in this case, the local authorities, just to do something about some of those costs. Because, as I said, I would have gone through some of the costs with persons who hold these meets, and some of the costs were very surprising to me. I mean, how do you guys manage with those costs?
Wow, without sponsors, we would not be able to host the meet.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we try our best to retain our sponsors each year.
Excellent. So while we're at it, while we're speaking about that, the sponsors, do you want to mention some of those sponsors for me real quick?
Well, we have Grace that has been with us for a number of years. Digicel. We have Kingston Bookshop. We have several other sponsors. We have our Camperdown Track and Field alumni. We have Stride Vision TV that does streaming for us each year. We have some other past students who have businesses, and we have past student groups that also sponsor events.
Along with Adidas, we have Adidas, Rainbow Ironing, Sports Source, Niche Financing, and FDF.
Wow. That sounds like a very nice lineup of sponsors.
Yeah.
I appreciate Corporate Jamaica doing that for you guys. But let's get to the meet proper here. I see you guys are scheduled to start at 9 a.m.
Yes.
You anticipating a 9 a.m. sharp early start, or is it going to be at Jamaica 9 a.m.?
No, it's going to be a 9 a.m.
9 a.m. sharp.
Because we have contracted Mr. James' group, World Class Athletics, and they have been punctual with all of the meets that they have done this year. Punctual with the start, and a great thing that they're doing is that most of the time the meet ends before time, which we are banking on. So we start at 9. Our last event should go off at 5:55, barring any setbacks. So the latest we want to be in the stadium is 6:30.
6:30. Wonderful. Yeah. And all the volunteers, the people who make the track meet, all of those guys are in place? Everybody in place?
Yes, the officials are in place. We have volunteers from Camperdown High as well. Those are in place. We will meet with them tomorrow to let them know what is expected of them. But everything so far on that side is ready.
Looking through the events as well, I see you guys doing a gamut of events: 100 meters, 800 meters, some relays. Is there any event on here that you want to highlight that fans must come out and see?
Well, from me, we are going to have the 60 meters. The 60 meters has taken off a track meet of late because you normally don't have 60 meters. So when you run a 60 meter at meets, it's by request from the coaches. So we have the 60 meters, so they can come out. I think the star event for me would be the 4x1 class 1 boys and class 1 girls, where we are reintroducing offering a cash prize for the top 3 schools in both divisions.
So if you're a class 1 4x1 team, or for girls or for boys, you have an opportunity to win a little bit of money at the Camperdown Classics.
Yes, so what we are doing in the past, we used to assist with teams going to pen relay. So that has been because of the financial status and how things has been in the past years. We try our best. So this year we have reintroducing it and we are coming with it. So it's not a lot, but it helps. So we know how inflation is and how plane fares and so even if the prize money can even pay for one athlete, it is a blessing. So we are bringing that back on track. Also, the 400 meter invitational is going to be something exciting.
Something to talk about.
The senior athletes normally use our meet to just get rid of the cobweb or open the season. and we have a lot of them coming out. We have from the Racers Club, we have Zarnel Hughes, and everybody know about Zarnel Hughes. We have Obik Seville is running. We have the world 400 meter under 20 record holder, a past student of Camperdown, Rashawn Clark, is in that race. We have last year champs 100 meter record holder coming out in Boaji in Kumi. He's in that race. The world champion 400 meter gold medalist Antonio Watson is among the starters there.
Right.
And a few years ago, I don't know if you remember, a top athlete from Kingston College, Javon Mattison, that was burning up the track, but he got injured. He's at Racers now, so he's coming back. So he will be in the 400 meter also, along with some of the past Olympians will be there. So that is a draw card for us. And we also have some overseas athletes coming down for the meet. We have a club from the Cayman Island that is coming down. We have athletes from Maldives, Japan, Canada,
Haiti.
A lot of Caribbean athletes from St. Vincent, Grenada, Haiti. A lot of them.
Wow.
Even from Canada, we have athletes coming down.
And we have a team from Texas as well.
Yes, and a team from Texas. So we have a lot of athletes coming down from abroad that is coming to the classic to open up their season.
Is that a college team from Texas or a high school team?
It's high school.
High school team.
Yeah,
but still, I mean, it's Texas. You know, they say that the sprinting in America is based in Florida and Texas. So, yeah.
And I think one of the athletes is the son of a past student from Camperdown that represents the country also. So, we have his support. He's also a sponsor. So, we tend to bring down the athletes and whosoever can come down to support our meet.
Fantastic. So you guys, you've named a quite enticing lineup, and I'm looking at it on the Roster Athletics app where I'm seeing all of those names. So folks, if you're hearing the names being called and you're thinking, well, can't be so many names. It's actually here. It's on the lineup. They are on the lineups.
And that is something we'd like to thank Mr. James for. Introducing the Rasta Athletic app, which is helping us out tremendously. Because anything you need to know about the Camperdown Classic, you can go on the app and it will tell you who is going to be there. So if I will say Miss Camille Allen Walters is going to run at Camperdown Classic, you're going to say, who is Miss Allen? We don't know about her. Who will she do? What she going to run? You go on the app and it will tell you about Miss Allen.
See her personal best. Everything is there.
Everything.
So
wonderful.
That's a blessing for us.
Yeah.
So guys, you know, it's a national stadium. I like to call it the Mecca, the Medina of Jamaica's track and field. What's the cost for regular folks coming into the Camperdown Classics? What is the damage in terms of your pocket? What is it going to look like?
$1,000. Only $1,000 for athletes, for adults, and children and students with ID only pay $500.
Wow. That's no damage at all. I mean, you're looking at that kind of lineup with so many world-class athletes, world medalists, Olympic medalists. That's a giveaway.
That's a giveaway. And with it, what we do is bring the best. Because, as I said, Camperdown Classic is the Sprinter's Paradise we need to come to. And then we are sanctioned by JHRA, ISA, and World Athletics. So you have athletes who have not qualified yet for champs, and champs is just almost a month away. They will use our meet to get those qualifying marks. So schools will be entering athletes to try to make that grade for champs also.
Understood. So I've heard about the organization. Sounds as if you guys have it all packed. I've heard about the lineup of events. Everything sounds fantastic. The sponsors are pretty much there. But one question I always like to ask, is there anything that you're looking at this point, up to this point, that you're looking at that maybe next year we may want to change that, we may want to adjust that a little bit, or is it pretty much perfect at this point?
I think we've found the formula. I think we've found the formula and we're good.
Okay, fantastic.
The only thing is missing is more sponsors.
More sponsors.
Yes, and I'll agree with Miss Allen. Miss Allen Waters, is that we have found the formula, but every year we try to improve on what we have done the year before, because we are not perfect. So if we go and there is fault and it is reported to us, we'll try to improve it for the next week. And that is something that keeps Camperdown Classic above other track meets.
And relevant. Excellent stuff. So you say 9 o'clock is the start. You want to have the last event on by 5:55.
Yes.
Everything is in place. We're all good to go for Saturday.
Yeah.
And one question, it kind of stuck me. I just have to ask. Are registrations already closed?
Yes,
it is.
It is already closed. So if you have not yet registered for the Camperdown Classics, folks, unfortunately, you won't be able to compete against this awesome lineup that we have with world and Olympic finalists and medalists all over the place. I just want to say to you guys, before we go, thank you for coming on the show, the track scene, and just giving us some highlights and giving us a preview of what is to be expected on Saturday. Thank you guys so much for being on the show.
For having us.
You're most
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Right. Have a good evening.
You too. Okay, so we now go to our first break on the track scene.
Super Center, everything for your home and more.
Whether you are redecorating your home, looking for a gift idea, or simply feel for some retail therapy, Asden Super Center is the place to be. Regal Plaza, Kingston, and Lipstick. We have it all. From linens and curtains to appliances and cookware, furniture, rugs, and wall decor. It's everything for your home and more.
Asden Super Center, we're gonna make you smile. Asden Super Center, it's a lifestyle.
We may be all over the world, but we're still in this together. Feel, make it easy for you get your money. So if you have to get something from your brother or mommy, hey, it's a no instant MoneyGram. Zoom, Maria, check your phone, your money land. VNBS money transfer. CFA faster, easier. Sign up for VNBS direct to bank account transfer today. No matter step out, fit time no line. Straight in your account, money reach long time. VNBS money transfer.
Take me to the wall. Jamaica, are you ready? If you listen to this radio station and you gave your life to Jesus Christ, well, the next step is to be born again. I'm telling you, welcome to the Nicodemus Experience, February the 10th at 10 a.m. at Bob Marley Beach. Don't want to miss out on that. This is a water baptism taking place, hosted by Omega. I am Bishop John Wayne Manning. I'll be there to baptize you personally. Followed immediately by February 11th at 6 p.m., one night of service. Praise, worship, deliverance. I want to pray for you. Believe God for a breakthrough for you, your family, your finances. Meet me there. Where? I thought you would never ask. 24 Stillwell Road, Kingston, Jamaica. Meet me there. I want to shake your hands. I want to lay hands on you. Don't forget, for further information, to get on the baptismal list or to get direction, give us a call at 876-204-9356. I'm Bishop John Wayne Manning, and I approve this message, and I'm waiting to hear from you. January 9, 2024. I was dead for 9 seconds. My heart stopped beating in the hospital. I remember my life was leaving my body, but I call upon the name of Jesus Christ, and he restored my life unto me. So I'm here because my purpose is not done. I want to pray with you. Don't miss this service.
the name of Jesus.
You're listening to The Scoreboard on Jamaica's #1 sports station.
Welcome back to the track scene. Again, I'm David Nugent. I think we should have a couple of guests online. We'll start off with, I'd say, a semi-regular guest, Mr. Donald Smith, the stadium announcer. You with us, Donald?
Yes, good afternoon, David, and good afternoon to the listeners of KRS Omega Radio. Great to be back on the track scene again for another Tuesday.
You know, you're always welcome on the track scene, Donald. You bring an amazing amount of knowledge to the program, so you're always welcome. We have a second guest online as well, Mr. Jeffrey Gordon. You on with us, Sir Gordon?
Yes, David, I'm here.
Okay, perfect.
Good afternoon to you all. Hi, Donald.
Good afternoon, Sir Gordon. Good to hear your voice again.
Yes, man. Good to be here. I was making my debut.
Yes.
Track scene.
Yes. Let's see if it's going to be as good as Shamar Joseph's debut inning. I trust you, Mr. Gordon. I trust you. I've spoken track and field with you, so I know you know a lot of track and field, and you know how to present that knowledge. So that's why we have you on today. So we're gonna start. I suppose we can start with you, Donald. So just so you can lay the foundation a little bit for Mr. Gordon. I want you to just pretend, just for a minute, that I am not a track and field fan per se. I didn't watch any track on the weekend. On the boys' side of things, local no, high school track and field, what was the performance that I would have missed out on the weekend?
Boy, that's a tough one, you know. David, I don't know what. Let me see if I can guide the listeners through some of the
results
that kind of caught my attention over the weekend. And I'm not going to start with the sprints. I'm going to go straight with the 800 meters. Class 1 boys. Kemario Bygrave. 153, 152 plus at the Fervet invitational meet on Saturday. And Yeshim Bowen of Margate. So Kemario Bygrave of Jamaica College. Yeshim Bowen got a PB in that race as well, in that event as well, 153.6, I believe his time was. But what is interesting is that Yoshin is rounding down nicely in form, and Kemario is on the verge of going sub 150 over 800 meters. When you add a Barry Smith of St. Elizabeth Technical to this Joel Morgan of Eddie Nallian, then you have what promises to be another cracking 800 meters run. If all of those athletes remain fit and show up for champs healthy, we should have at least, in my opinion, a sub 150 time at champs. Let's jump down a little to the class 3 boys, 800 meters. Now, a name, and class 3, of course, these are the newcomers, so to speak, because we don't have any class 4 boys. So most of these athletes that are in class 3 now would be the athletes that you would not have met unless you would have been following them from the primary or prep school level. And one particular name keeps popping up, at least for the last 2 Saturdays. Jamaica College's Cavell Nooks. At the Queen's Grace Jackson meet a week ago, he ran 2:01.61, which was a PB for him. And then on Saturday at the Fervent meet, he ran 2:02.48. No, not many runners have gone below 2 minutes over 800 meters on the boys' side at class 3. And in fact, one of the records that to this day seems to be a big challenge for many is the 158.06 that Wakardo Costa would have set back in 2007. He, of course, a JC old boy. That record continues to stand. question persons may start asking is if this Cavell Nooks fellow, if he is good enough to
Take down that
get
record.
close to that record.
Oof.
Yes, because he's looking to be in fantastic form, and the fact that he's in and around the 201, 202 mark, 2 weeks running, augurs well for him.
Says that he's a solid 201, 202 runner. He can pull it out at the height when he wants.
That is correct. That is correct. And then over in the discus throw. So I'm going to leave the other part for now, but let's go to the discus throw. Class 2 boys, a youngster from Monroe College, Javante Smith, threw 5107 to win in the Class 2 discus. This was at the Youngster Goldsmith meet, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And that mark would have won champs last year. As a matter of fact, that mark bettered the top 3 marks at champs last year for the Class 2 boys discus competition. So if Javante Smith can continue in this role, then expect that he should be on the podium come March for champs. So I'll leave it at that for now. I just laying down the wicket. Of course, there are other performances, but I just wanted to start with those areas that we don't normally give a lot of attention to, especially the early part of the season.
Right. And I appreciate that, Anand. I mean, many people would be wanting to go to the sprints and the explosive events, but singling out the 800 meters in particular, I like that. I think we're going to get a performance that is going to be close to that sub 50. I like Bygrave. He looks as if he's improving week over week. I saw Bahrain Smith at Stets and he looks fantastic. Over 400 in the 4x800, and he looked quick as well over the 4x4. So I like him as well. And as you said, there are other names that are going to float about in the coming weeks. So I'm looking forward to a fantastic 800 meters Class 1 boys at champs. But we'll move on to the girls for a second. Don't want to stick on the boys for the entire program. Mr. Gordon, what were the performances I would have missed if I wasn't paying attention on the weekend?
Okay. Starting just like Donald with the field, because I really can't say I saw any real outstanding performances in the middle distance. Set for one, I must point out at the Youngster Goldsmith, Kadeen Johnson had a fantastic 1500 meter, I think, for this time of the year. She ran 4:35.05. It was. And this was also after she had already ran a 2,000 meter steeplechase earlier in the day. So she had, she came second in that event. So that, I think, really was the only outstanding performance in the middle distance on the girls' side that we saw on the weekend. Up at Fervert, the competition on the girls' side was not very strong, so to speak. So the San Diego girls had a field day, but the competition was.
And just for clarity, Mr. Gordon, just for clarity, you are connected to San Diego. Just for clarity.
Yeah, man.
For clarity's sake.
Right. But they dominated up there, but as I said, the competition was not there. The Edwin Allens and the Idels and the Homewoods were missing. So they did what I think would have been expected with those top guns missing in that area. But back to Youngster Goldsmith, though, in the field, what was interesting for me was two things. Sudlow from St. Catherine, she jumped 6:21. And this was only a positive 0.8 wind, so it wasn't really much assistance.
Wow.
And she jumped 6:21 on Saturday, and I think that was quite outstanding at this point. And the closest to her was 580 something, right? And Shanika Williams in Class 2 from Woolmans, she cleared 180 in the high jump, which I think equal their personal best. I don't think it was a personal best. I think it's equal their personal best. And interestingly, our teammate Daniel Noble also cleared 175, along with Edwin Adams, Aisha McKay, also cleared 175. So those for me would definitely stand out in the field on the weekend. Maybe I want to continue a little bit more now onto the tracks. Again, not a lot of outstanding performances, so to speak, but there's a storm brewing. There's a storm brewing in the Class 2 hurdles. There are 4 girls that are going to make it an amazing event to watch throughout the season at championships. And interestingly enough, all 4 of them will also be moving up to under 20, and then they'll be meeting Abiba Harris of Stets and Shania Myers of Heidel. So I don't know. I've heard about 3 the hard way. I don't know what you're gonna say about 6. 6.
So tell us the 4 girls in Class 2 that we're looking at. I know the names, but my listeners, for their sake.
All right. But there is Tanya Marshall from Wolmer's. There is Brianna Campbell, the 2 Briannas from San Diego. Brianna Campbell and Brianna Davison. And just for clarity, they spell their names differently. The Brianna. One is B-R-Y, one is B-R-I. And then the 4th one is Jordan Daly from Heidel. Now, what eventually ended up happening on Saturday was that we now have 3 girls with season best. All 3 girls have now run 13:32.
Yeah, I saw that. But Mr. Gordon, we are up on a break right now. But when we come back from the break, we'll discuss that further. We go to the break, second break on the track scene.
My Mega Mart, best value by far.
With so much to do in one location, make Mega Mart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills, fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy, all in one amazing location. My Mega Mart, the best value by far.
My Mega Mart, best value by far.
We want justice. We want justice.
You have been asking for justice. Well, get justice. The Ministry of Justice presents Get Justice, a radio feature focused on giving Jamaicans information on how to resolve their conflicts. The series will highlight the justice services of the ministry to include social justice, estate planning, legal aid, and expungement. Join the discussion by calling in or participating via their social media pages at MOJ Official JM on X, formerly called Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Get Justice with the Ministry of Justice every Monday at 10 a.m. on KLAS FM.
We facilitate good relation.
You're listening to The Scoreboard on Jamaica's #1 sports station.
Welcome back to the track scene. Before we went to the break, we were on the girls 100-meter hurdles Class 2. And Mr. Gordon, you were going over a point. You can just complete that point for me real quickly.
Okay, so as I was saying, we now have 3 girls with identical season best in that 13:32. Brianna Davison did that at Central Hurdles and Relays. Campbell came second to her in 13:33, a close race. And on Saturday, the good thing about Saturday was that the hurdlers got heats and finals. The top 8 from the heats ran in the finals. Tiana Marshall in the heats. Kip Davidson ran 13:32, and not Davison, Campbell. And Campbell ran 13:37 in the heat. And then in the finals, it was Campbell reversed, and she ran 13:32. Marshall ran 13:39. Davis ran 13:43, and Daly ran 13:47. No, as I said, I mean, that is just going to gear up for a fantastic season with these four girls who, as I said before, will now have to compete in the under 20 or character trials, and also going forward to World Juniors, World Under 20. And they're going to join Abiba Harrison class 1, who ran 13:35 from Stets, and then also Shania Myers, who, to my surprise, was giving Harris a serious run for her money in the finals on Saturday until she hit the 9th hurdle.
Okay.
And that just, got rid of the competition there. So threw her off, and she finished jogging across the finish line. But those two obviously are going to be the heavy hitters in class 1. Young lady from St. Catherine, who's also in class 1, seems a little bit off. Her name shoots me right now, but she seems a little bit Hewlett, sorry. Yeah.
Hewlett.
But at the moment, Harris and Myers will really be the ones doing some heavy hitting in class 1. Quickly, I'll just go through the 100 meters and make a quick point. Sorry if I'm taking up too much at this point.
No, man, that's okay.
Right. The class 4 winner ran 12:70. Nothing outstanding. This young lady from, I think it's either Guadeloupe or one of the French islands, Martinique, Carol Etienne. She ran 11:84 into a negative 1.4 win to in class 3. Terry Long, we all know who she is, ran 11:61, also into a negative 1.4. And then there's a British girl at Edwin Island also, Trezeguet Taylor, if that's how it's pronounced. She won 11:84 in class 1 into a 0.4. But the point I want to make about that is that for some reason, all these athletes were super fast on the 6th of January at JC. We saw some real super fast times, but nobody has gone back there. So I'm wondering if coaches panicked and said, boy, these athletes are going too fast too early, and put on back some load on them. Or we have not seen anything near those times since, And
that's a very good point, because it's a packed season to come. Carif champs, world under 20s. So you're definitely right.
Yep.
And to just wrap up, Davion, in terms of on the boys' side, piggybacking across on Mr. Gordon's point regarding the sprints and the hurdles, we did see some decent performances, as he pointed to. Not much to write home about on the track on Saturday, but we did see some okay-ish times. I'm going to give you a few of them. For class 2 on the boys' side, in the 100 meters, we had Casey's narrow runway 10.92. In class 1, JC seems to be finding their quartet, their 4x1 quartet with each week. Nathaniel Martin, the latest to join the Dante Mendes, I think is his name, if I'm not mistaken, and Benjamin. Casey's Yuri Lawrence, that was 10.67 for Martin. Yuri Lawrence Clark, KC 10.68 was second overall. And interestingly, Martino Rose, who jogged the first time I saw him this season at the Fuller Anderson Memorial Meet at GC Foster College, 400 meters, 10.76 for fourth overall in the 100 meters at class 1. And in 400 meters, we had Amal Glasgow. Many persons thought that he was out of school by now. Still at KC 47.95. I think he, along with Rose, maybe the standard bearers for KC at 400 for this season. 47.95 look quite good. And of course, Nicoy and his class 1, then Nicoy Bramwell has pretty much slowed down, so to speak, but he had things his own way over his 400 meter race, 49.75. Of course, well behind the 46.75 that he did at the McKinley Win Classic. Then we had the 4 hurdles at Class 2, the Marco Bennett, one of the names you probably want to watch this season. 53.23 ran a PB on Saturday. Looked good. So he more than likely will be in the conversation to be on the podium for champs. Calabash Queen Gordon in the sprint hurdles 13.63 Class 1 into a negative 1.5 headwind to boot, taking the overall win for the 110 meter hurdles. But right behind him was Excelsior's Daniel Wright. Dan Excelsior doing very good as usual with the hurdles. Wright expecting to give Gordon some challenge, but at the same time, Shaquille Gordon, I think this is his first run at the hurdles for this season, so expect him to get better. And then finally, how could we forget the Class 3 champion last year from Mr. Gordon's school, St. Jago, Marquis Page, 13:30, to win on Saturday, much faster than the time he ran to win at champs last year, 13:38. So it's getting exciting. Still early days yet. We just started February. So let's see how things pan out. But as Sir Gordon mentioned, maybe the coaches,
want to pull back a little bit,
loading up back the athletes. Yeah. So, but I expect with Gibson release around the corner, character trials, some of that load may be shed soon, and we should see some even faster times going forward.
Right. So, I mean, we've given a comprehensive review of what happened on the weekend in terms of the results and on the local side for the boys and girls. But I just wanted to shift a little bit as we go into the final 20 minutes.
Before you shift, David, I think there was another thing that should have been worth mentioning. In the 400 hurdles, they actually had 2 girls going below a minute, which is not the usual thing at this time in the season. Yeah, the Edwin Allen pair of who are returning in the 400 meter hurdles at champs this year. Tony and Beckford actually broke even 59 seconds. She ran 58.52.
Right.
And Natasha Fox ran 59 flat. And they were the only 2 to break a minute. So far, and I think it was really outstanding when you really look back at that. Okay, so I just thought I'd drop that in before you move on.
Yes, definitely. Those were some very good runs from the Edwin Allen girls. But let's change gears a little bit, as I said. We want to touch on some happenings on the senior side of things. We had a lot happening on the senior side of things. We'll start with Donald. Because I think there is so much more on the men's side of things that I want to look at. What was your senior, be it indoor, outdoor, what was your senior performance on the weekend that really you caught your eye? What was it that I would have missed if I wasn't looking?
Well, two moments come to mind off and quickly. Keir McLeod's win in the long jump at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix in Boston, and Akeem Blake's run of 6.45 in the 60 meters behind the world champion over 100 meters, Noah Lyles, at 60 meters at the same meet. But outside of Keir McLeod's mark of 8.2, that's 8.20. Remember, he would have finished 4th just outside the medals last year.
Right.
2 Jamaicans would have won medals, Tajay Gale, Wayne Pinnock, behind the Greek freak, Tentoglu. So, he wants to make up for this season. That's Keir McLeod. So a good start already for him, 8.20. But why really singled out Akeem Blake in the top 2 performances that I saw on the men's side so far is because of how good he looked from start to finish. Almost got the win in the final, just pipped at the line by Noah Lyles. I think Asafa's record, indoor record of 6.44 seconds is on borrowed time if Blake runs some more races at 60 meters, but he definitely looked very good. So it will be interesting to see how the season pans out for him. As I said, his start looks to me to have improved even more than what we saw last season. You know, so I am really looking forward to seeing what he is going to be doing when the season goes to outdoors.
Right.
And then of course our very own Chashali for I know you say I'm supposed to focus on the so I leave that.
Right, Donald, but before we jump to the females or before we go to our next break, I just wanted to point out as well. There was another jumper on the weekend. It's actually the teammate of Kerry McLeod, Wayne Pinnock, who actually jumped 8 meters 34 in New Mexico. That's actually 6 centimeters. It's the world lead, no, isn't it?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah.
Yes, would have been 6 centimeters short of the national indoor record of Kerry McLeod, whose national indoor record is 4 meters 40. So both guys big jumping early. Also want to point out for Akeem Blake, you know, if you go on the website, the World Athletics website, they have his personal best listed as 6.42.
Which was an outdoor 60 meters.
Outdoor 60 meters.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of questions about that on the weekend. Why is his PB 642 and now you're saying that he's run a PB of 645? That's his outdoor PB.
So one of the things that I've observed this season that World Athletics has done with their stats database or stats zone, as they call it, is that they have now they have mixed everything, every single performance. So whether it is short track, which is what we call indoor, it is no short track, or outdoor, it is mixed. So when you look at Akeem Blake's time, for example, his PB will show as the outdoor fast time that he would have done. But you'd have to look at the venue to try and confirm if it was an indoor or outdoor run.
All right, Donald, we're right up on the break, Donald. So as soon as we get back from this break, we'll continue that discussion. We take the third and final break on the track scene. We'll be back with you shortly.
Protecting Jamaica's borders from illicit imports and exports is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
5:45. How are going, Tony? Big things are going at Bike Gallery Parts and Accessories. The bike place down 17 Clary Avenue? Yes, they have TIDA, Probox, and AD Wagon service parts. Any purchase and you can get a pair of super bright headlight or fog light bulbs for just $2,000. You serious? I'm going there now. Call 876-821-2068 for more information.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers pride themselves in being professionals in the field of insurance broking, claim settlement, and risk management services for over 35 years. We offer a wide range of insurance services including motor, property, liability, accident, life, and international health for individuals and companies at competitive rates. Call 926-3572 or visit 7.5 Haining Road, Kingston 5 or shop number 3, James Plaza, Mandeville. Call 625-6804 or visit online spectrumjamaica.com. Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standards.
My Mega Mart, best value by far.
With so much to do in one location, make Mega Mart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills, fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy, all in one amazing location. My Mega Mart, the best value by far.
My Mega Mart, best value by far.
You're listening to The Scoreboard on Jamaica's #1 sports station.
Welcome back to the track scene on The Scoreboard. We're on our final lap, so to speak. We've been discussing track and field for about 48 minutes now. So we're just into the final lap. Donald, you are making a point before we went to the break?
Yeah, so World Athletics has pretty much combined results of both indoor and outdoor or short. Well, for listeners, short track. If you hear that term a lot, that is basically the same as indoors. So if you go to the stats zone of the World Athletics website, what you will see is the combination. So let's focus on the 60 meters quickly. So you would see Akeem Blake's 6.42, which is an outdoor 60 meter PB, as being his best time over 60 meters. You won't see the 6.45 that he would have run. Also, in order for you to distinguish what is an indoor, World Athletics, given that they have now combined it, they say, okay, let us help you guys out. So on the venue, there is a bracket with the letter I, which means indoor or short track. Indoor. So once the I is there, then that will tell you that it is an indoor meet, and you can look for the best indoor time for your country to find your record. So this is the case.
You're good at it, Donald, because that was the exact question in my mind. So you answered it before. I really was wondering how you differentiate.
Right.
So if anybody goes to World Athletics site now, bring up the stats zone and look at the 60 meters all-time top list, you'll see Asafa Paul is 6.44, and on the venue you'll see in bracket I, but above him you'll see Akeem Blake 6.42, but there's no I in bracket at the venue, which means that Asafa Paul's 6.44 is our national indoor record.
And I can confirm that. I'm looking at it right now. 6.44 Asafa Paul national indoor record done March 18th, 2016. So that is still the national record, but based on what I saw from Akeem Blake, that record
definitely can get that record, in my opinion. Definitely can get it. And you mentioned Wayne Pinnock, world leader, 8.34 long jump. You know, the Arkansas guys are going at it again this season. And
that's for sure.
That we're able to get an additional medal in the long jump this year. You know, we got 2 last year. I don't want to be too greedy because
one
can't take away from the quality that is the Greek feud. That's what I call it. I know that is reserved for the basketball of Greek nationality.
It's over. Where he's concerned, it's not over till it's over. Until he jumps his last jump, it's not over.
That is it. But it is a good start for guys. I want to mention something before I hand over to Mr. Gordon. You know, we did have some additional Jamaicans running as well. In the hurdles, La France Campbell made the final. Orlando Bennett didn't, nor did Gianno Roberts, but La France finished 7.66 was his time. That was, of course, won by Grant Holloway, 7.35, who continues his unbeaten streak indoor over hurdles. He has not really faced any of the big guns from Jamaica indoors. So I'm hoping, I heard Broadwell say that he wants to run some races indoors this season. Let's hope he runs 1 or 2, and maybe he could end Grant's indoor streak, but that's yet to be seen. And one final thing, even though it doesn't directly impact Jamaica, the 1,000 meters. Now, the winner of the 1,000 meters, Marco Arup from Canada, you recall that he's the 800 meters world champion now. He ran 2:14.74. They have it as a national record. I think his national record is actually 2:14.34. But I'll double check that. But nonetheless, what I'm going to point to is that Marco Arup is a training part of Navaski Anderson, or national 800 meter record holder. Now, Arup is improving every race he has run since Oregon last year that's after Budapest, when they had the Diamond League final in Oregon. He has been improving, going up to now. And if this is something that I'm looking at, I'm thinking Navaski, his training partner, more than likely will be improving this season as well. So I'm looking at Marco as somewhat of a measuring stick for Navaski to see what our expectations of his performance will be this season. But it's looking very bright. Very, very bright.
Training groups tend to improve with each other. So looking off.
That's right. Should be so.
Yeah, and just before we move on to Mr. Gordon, I just got a text reminding me that Mr. Beckford, he also jumped 8 meters 40. So even though I said Kerry McLeod, national record holder at 8 meters 40, it's shared. So want to give Mr. Beckford, James Beckford, his plaudits. We move, yeah, definitely. we move now to the female side of things, Mr. Gordon. I just want you to take that on. What is the performance on the weekend for Jamaican females that I would have missed? What is that performance?
Okay, I'll start with the colleges and the college scene, and say New Mexico meet. I think Akila Smith, 685. In the long jump, I think that was fantastic to open our season. It was a world lead for a day because Tara Davis Woodall, at New Balance the following days, as yesterday, Sunday, she jumped 686 to top that by one centimeter. Right. So that 685 for me was the performance for the weekend from the Jamaican female. Of note, I saw somebody in that result which piqued my interest. Alia Foster. Alia Foster out of Mount Alvernia, who is a freshman. I think she still had another year at champs. I'm not sure if she would have been a junior still, but I know she had another year. And she jumped 646.
Right.
Yeah, in the same competition, and she actually came back and ran a 60 meter the following day around 757, so putting in some very good work as a freshman there in Texas, part of the same training group with Akila Smith.
Yeah, and she's a junior, still.
She's a junior.
Okay. So she's not going to be 19 until the middle of the year, 12th of May. So she turns 19 on the 12th of May, so she's still a junior.
Junior, that's right. All right, so looking well for her going up. And I saw some of that, not really outstanding, but I saw some names popping up in the results all around. I saw Shaquina Foot, from San Diego State, ran a 53.26, 400 meter. Dejane Okre, part of the Texas group, she ran 52.53, and in the 200, in the same event that Julian Alfred ran the 22.16, Lanae Taylor Thomas ran 22.72, Kevona Davis ran 22.90, and Liston following up on our 7.07 the weekend before, she ran 23.16. So the names are there. I'm just hoping that everybody stays healthy, and things will continue well for them throughout the season. On the international scene now, Donald was alluding to it. Our own local trained based Saturday Forbes. Up to the weekend remained undefeated in the 60 meter, both outdoor, and I think this was our first race indoor.
Indoor, right.
Right. And her performance was, what was it, 704, was it?
No, man.
704, yeah?
Shouldn't have gone that fast. I think it was
not that fast.
7.11. Am I correct, Donald? Do you remember the performance?
That's the run today in Poland?
Yeah.
No. Last weekend.
Last weekend. Last weekend.
Oh, yeah,
704. Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So that was, a very outstanding run.
So she did 711 last week on Saturday and 713 today.
Right.
She ran today as well?
So she lost today. Yeah, she lost today for the first time in a place called Turan or something like that. I'm not sure which country. But Swoboda ran from Poland, ran it 701, which is now the world lead. And I'm telling you now, they're very interesting. I've been watching this young lady from last season, just watching her results. I've not seen her really perform. But this young lady, she's from an African background, but she's running for Italy. Her name is Zainab Dosso. Yeah, Zainab Dosso. She has been coming forward from last season. I've been noticing her, and she ran 7:02 today to get a close second to Soboda, and Sasha Lee was third in 7:13. So that those to me were the performances. I have a performance of concern though. Yesterday I never saw the heats, but Brianna only ran 9:09 in her heats. I'm not sure what transpired there. Do you have any information on that, Donald?
No, I've seen persons asking the same question. Nothing so far. I'm just hoping that she's okay. That's Brianna Williams, by the way, listeners.
Right. Yep. From the Jamaican point of view, Gabby Thomas ran the 300 meter in a world lead 35:75. But what was interesting, I saw an interview with her where she says that she will definitely be at I assume it's the Racers Grand Prix this year.
Yeah.
She'll be coming home to Jamaica to compete. So, something to look forward to see Gabby Thomas on our local shores competing. But the one other event, which was not a Jamaican win, so to speak, was the 60-meter hurdles, where Toby Amazon, the world record holder in the 100-meter hurdles, got beaten by American Tia Jones in a world leading and a personal best 7:72, while Toby Amazon ran a national record 7:75 for second. And in the same event, Megan Tapper ran a PB of 8:02, and she came seventh. So that is where that for me would be a quick synopsis of what happened on the weekend.
Because we definitely can't cover everything. We're actually at 6 o'clock now. We're actually at the end of
one quick point to leave you guys with that maybe we can talk about it afterwards. On the men's side, I'm a very concerned Jamaican. When I saw Blake got tipped on the line by Noah Lyles, it came back to me again. Something I've been worrying about, in particular from last season. We had Jamaican men, about 6 of them or so, running sub 10 last season, and not one of them do a good 200 meters.
200, yeah. I've spoken about that.
The three medalists from Worlds last year, Budapest,
run the 2
meter. Not only run the 2, they were in the top 4 in the 200 meter, also in Budapest.
Says something about the 2.
So
that endurance and finishing.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, we definitely could talk about track and field for the whole entire night. We could go until tomorrow morning. However, we are unfortunately at the end of the show. I just want to say thank you to you, Donald Smith, and thank you to you, Mr. Gordon, for coming on and discussing track and field with me. It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. But it's the end of the show. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Davian.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Davian.
You've just heard the Scoreboard. Remember to tune in Mondays to Fridays at 5 p.m. for top-class sports discussions.